Arsenal defeat Chelsea narrowly in the London derby, and Madrid slip again in back-to-back weeks in the league. So it's a rough episode for me and my guy. Welcome
Hmm.
back to another episode of Ball IQ Podcast. Tolu, Real Madrid fan.
Nelson, Chelsea fan.
Yeah, tough. This is going to be a tough episode for us because both our teams lost in derbies, actually. We lost to Getafe, we lost to
Mm.
Arsenal. Um, Arsenal Chelsea is definitely the topic of our deep dive, but I want to get your early thoughts before we get into it.
Uh, yeah, it was a tough game. We didn't do ourselves any favors in terms of getting a player sent off for senseless reasons. But upon reflection and while watching the game, it was it was clear to me that Arsenal has chosen to play a certain style of football in order to mitigate any opportunity of bottling this title.
Mhm.
And watching them play on Sunday and kind of choke us and be fine with what, or excuse me, not choke us, but kind of be okay and wait for us to make the mistakes that they knew the other team was going to make whilst they kind of just kick the ball around. It's really frustrating. It's one of the more frustrating teams to play against in the
Again.
league, in my opinion. Um, And yeah, that game typified that. There are a couple of calls that I think that were missed, you know, that have been replayed several times. There was a penalty call, a penalty shout within the box on those set pieces, which they've made their bread and butter. I think they scored about 14, maybe 15 goals from the set piece or corner kicks this season. And
Mhm.
yeah, it was really frustrating. It was kind of the most frustrating way you could lose this match in terms of the goals that were conceded and the lack of focus and concentration that we saw um, from Pedro Neto mainly, and then also Cole Palmer didn't really influence or impact the game at all. It was one of the more quieter
Yeah.
um, starts I've seen in some time.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The Cole Palmer piece was also interesting to me. I think the second game I've seen him play, the position that I saw him play, but we can go straight into the um, deep dive to see how exactly they lined up against Arsenal. So, I mean, on paper it was a back four with Hato at back, which you were kind of concerned about, and Reece at right back.
It was not only Hato, but Mamadou Sarr
Yeah,
also got his first start. It was very big. He missed a very golden opportunity in the beginning of the first half, like first 15, 20 minutes.
yeah,
Ball played right into his feet. Just, yeah, lacked the
yeah,
touch to finish it. Sure he wanted that one back.
yeah, for sure. And interestingly enough, they went into a back three when they had possession, Chelsea, with Caicedo like dropping in between the center backs to create, and Andre Santos was staying in front of him. Reece inverted and leaving the um, right wing for Pedro Neto to roam, and because Reece inverted, Trossard had to follow him in, kind of disrupting probably Arsenal's preferred lineup, I'd say. Um, or sometimes you leave him go and press. But the interesting thing is Cole Palmer starting on the left wing, but the idea is when he gets the ball, he checks in and finds a pocket of space in that inside left area, and Hato provides the wing, and as well as Enzo going into left mid as well to create some opportunities there. And you could tell like the game plan for Neto was one-on-one, try and beat your man, play a cross in for João Pedro, or create that way, or Cole Palmer finding like pockets of spaces to kind of create wherever it seems wherever he deems fit. And um, as for Arsenal's midfield, they're pretty much more occupied in stopping Chelsea than actually doing any creation. Um, Eze was very quiet. Rice was probably their best player, mainly because of the set pieces. Zubimendi was fairly quiet. Saka was fairly quiet. The defenders were again involved in set pieces. And well, I think Gabriel assisted Saliba for their first goal, and
Yeah.
then Bus got the second goal. Mbappe didn't really have a good game, but essentially that game, the reason why it turned out the way it did is both teams kind of canceled each other. Two separate systems, but still ca canceling each other because nobody. I think Chelsea had more of the ball. You could tell Chelsea were the team trying to play the football, like they were trying to play the football, and um to Chelsea's I mean staying on Chelsea, when they tried to build from the back, it actually either went very well or very bad. Like it was either very good progression of the ball from Sanchez to one of the center backs to Caicedo trying to find Enzo or Cole Palmer in those pockets of space, or they just mess it up and as a was trying to chip Sanchez from midfield, or the transition just goes immediately. So it was either very good or very, very scary, especially in the first half. Then the last couple of things I had noticed were one, obviously, like you said in the beginning, there were a lot of fouls. Arsenal were committing a lot of fouls. I thought that before Reese's goal from the corner. I don't know if they credited the goal to him yet or not officially.
No, that definitely it hit off of Hincampy.
It did, but it was a going on
Yeah,
target too.
yeah.
But
I think they credited it to it hasn't been recredited, but I think
yeah,
it was an intended behavior by Reese. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know, he was aiming for that spot. Um,
yeah.
yeah.
It's just like those crosses to corridor of uncertainty, and if it goes all the way, yeah, if it goes all the way in, it goes all the way in. But what I was going to say was just before that corner, Chelsea should have had a penalty. That was the
Yep.
first time I was like, okay, they should have had a penalty. And I was like, oh, they scored from the corner. And it happened again. So, I mean, from an Arsenal perspective, at this point, what, 29 games in, just get the job done. Just go Josie Chelsea, get the job done. It's too late to try and like rediscover your fluidity. Just do whatever it takes to roll over the line because um it's very difficult for that team because they haven't done it before. So they don't know what it takes. So I don't blame them. I'll put it that way. Because the 3 points is 3 points at the end of the day, especially at this stage of the season. But those are the two things I wanted to say. I mean, you don't want to see a game of that magnitude decided by three corners. Um, and Chelsea were you could see trying, but I don't think the team has hit that level yet to be effective on what they're trying. And for Arsenal, at this point, it's a results game, based business. They can just get the 3 points, move on. But thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really accurate summarization of what I thought is a lot more kinder than the words I would have chosen. Um,
Did you yo?
just to be just to be completely candid with you. But I think, yeah, I mean, the way that they were playing, I have several friends that are Arsenal fans, and after the game, I let them know that, like, yeah, you got the 3 points, but where's your shame type of mentality. And they were like, we don't care right now. Like, we're just trying not to, it's squeaky bum time. We're trying not to wet ourselves as we try and cross the finish line. And I understand that. But, I maintain that only one team came to play football that day. The other team came to neutralize and score
Mhm.
some really dark art goals, lots of fouls, a lot of riling up of players, um, and a lot of stonewall penalties that just weren't given, which makes me obviously, you know, I have my opinion about the campaign against Chelsea, but the first call for dissent, the first yellow card that Pedro Neto received for dissent, the
Mhm.
entire team was kind of clamoring for the attention of the referee. Obviously, this year in the Premier League, or actually, I think maybe 2 years now, only if you're a captain is the only reason you can really come up and speak to a ref. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you finna get carded.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
case in point, but and it's a problem. The discipline in the club is a problem. I've been talking about it for almost a calendar year now.
Mhm.
Um, it's only gotten worse. We were already out of the game um at the point when Pedro Neto received that red card,
Yeah.
or that second yellow. But it put the nail in the coffin. At that point, they were like, "Oh, you thought we weren't playing football before, but guess what? We're about to really park the bus." And it's just a really frustrating place to play. It's frustrating that Arteta has had so much success against us over the years,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's frustrating that we had a chance to really deny them um, pole position as we get into the more serious business end of the season. And most importantly, for the race to the top four, we've dropped points the last three matches in a row. It puts us in a very, very precarious position with several fixtures um, of high difficulty on the horizon,
Yeah.
with also the Champions League to manage with PSG on the horizon as well. So it's um it's tough, and then we've got suspensions here and there, and I did the only bright spot I'd say from that game for a Chelsea fan would be Reece James showing some pride and really stepping up in the moment and trying to inspire a comeback.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer not being injured, Romeo Lavia coming on for a bit, Andre Santos looking good in
Mhm.
pockets and in moments. Caicedo not getting carded. Let me check. Hold on. Yeah, not getting carded. So, you know, it's just a few things, few little bright spots, but really, truly, it was a forgettable game that kind of stunts the progress that we were seeing. I just hope that we can kind of flush this and move on because it's not going to get any easier.
Yeah, and I mean, you touched on something there too. Arsenal have they unbeaten in last 10 games against Chelsea, I think it is. I think it is last 10 games. And that's, I mean, you said it last week, and I guess it didn't sit until after this game. I was like, wait a second, 10 games? That's unlike a game of that magnitude. But second thing I was going to say was it was very similar to the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi where both teams are just canceling out each other. I feel like both teams just figured each other out. And the reason Arsenal come on top is from a chemistry standpoint, from the managers to the players, I feel like they've been together longer, and obviously they have the corner kick to bail them
It's
out of
literally
jail.
the only
So
thing in my opinion.
what do you say?
It's literally the only thing in my opinion. If you can score, like it's literally, I've watched so many games where they have been second best or on par with the other team, and the
Mhm.
one wild card they have,
Is
um,
Gabriel in the air?
Gabriel, like one of those guys.
Yeah,
I know that was the first time that Saliba allegedly scored, I think is what they're saying, but
yeah.
um, yeah, it is what it is. I just think 4C center backs is a little bit you're taking the piss.
But yeah, well, they did the job and they'll move on and see the two different games, two wins, so they will keep going. Um, Elsewhere in the Premier
We
League,
got
sorry, go
we have
ahead.
Aston Villa tomorrow, I think. Chelsea's playing Aston Villa tomorrow. So
Speaking of Aston Villa, thank you for bringing that up. I'll just jump straight there. It's always funny when like sometimes these teams from the bottom three, bottom four, bottom five just hit form in the strangest of times. Wolves in the last four games have tied against Arsenal, beaten Aston Villa, and today beat Liverpool. Um,
mm,
and Aston Villa all of a sudden are slipping up. I think they tied or lost. I think they lost
yeah,
last game. Um, so them playing against you guys, Chelsea, it'll be like both teams haven't been on good form in a while, so it'll be an interesting watch for sure. Um, but yeah, I was also going to bring up the occurrences of racism again in the last week in the Prem, especially with you brought up Fofana last week. Aroko Dario was targeted after missing a penalty. Tolu Aroko Dario, my namesake. Hannibal from Burnley, I think he plays for Burnley. Hannibal, the Tunisian kid.
mm,
Remain Mundo as well. So all in England, but on social media. So hopefully the platforms figure out how to cut all that stuff out. So just wanted to have like, a moment to highlight that on the show. I don't know if
absolutely.
you saw any of those incidences or reports.
I didn't see all of those.
Yeah.
Was it like mostly just like the hand over the mouth
No,
thing, or
no,
is
it
it just
was
fans abusing them?
fans in DMs and stuff like that. So just
Hmm.
similar to Fofana.
It's
Yeah.
typically what you see in England. I don't know, there's no place for that at all. It's just
Yeah.
sad to see that that's what they have to deal with. They can't, have social media. I know that, there's a lot of players who just like deactivate, but that shouldn't be
The
what you
reason.
have to do
Yeah. Shouldn't be the
at
reason.
all.
Yeah. Another thing that was disappointing was Leeds fans booing the Muslim players that were breaking their fast. That's like they stopped the game for them to break their fast, and Leeds fans were booing them. It happened against City. Um, so that was disappointing as well. However, on the not however, like excusing it, just another point is Ryan Cherky, one of the Muslims on the team, balled out against Leeds. Like
Mhm.
it was one of those maestro performances where I think it was just 1-0 and he had a pre-assist, but that guy is a special player, man. Like I'm happy that um Pep hasn't overly systemized him. Yes, you can see that he has responsibilities positionally, but there's still a little bit of freedom for him, and I'm happy about that because he is a special, special player. Special player. Like he could just tell. I don't know how to explain it. Like you could just tell when a player is on the ball. You know when the player receives the ball, when Hazard receives the ball, and you're like, oh. Crap.
Yeah.
When somebody like that receives the ball, I'm like, oh my God, I don't have to only watch him. I have to watch everybody around him because this guy can pick a pass, and if he doesn't pick a pass, he can beat me. Um, it was just a pleasure watching him play that game. He was wonderful, wonderful player. Um, but not really. I mean, apart from the Chelsea Arsenal game and just that point on Ryan Cherky, nothing else really stood out. I mean, and obviously Wolves beating Liverpool. I don't know if anything else stood out to you in the Prem in the last week.
Um, Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
It's the time of the season where games are happening every 3 days or so ever. So I mean that the first game we discussed was obviously the
Yeah.
the the focal point of the weekend, but um, yeah,
Yeah.
I think Man United came back and won
United, that's a good
2-2.
point. I forgot to put that in the dossier, but Šeško starts and scores again. Bruno was fantastic. It was a great cross. He scored the penalty and assisted the winner. I watched that game and I think that United have definitely turned the cover because even when they went down, I just feel like this game is not like United is gonna pull this out. I don't know. I haven't felt like that about United in a while. You know when like I mean your team as well has been the top of the league. I mean in the top team of the league in the last decade or so. You've been there too, where you can watch a Chelsea game and you can go down and you're like, we'll win this game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I just
Right.
felt like
Yeah,
that for.
you're just like, oh, we're making it harder than we should, but we're
Then we
gonna win.
should,
But no.
yeah, yeah. I just watched that game, and Crystal Palace obviously a good team, well coached team. I know they went down a man, but I was just watching that game like United are going to win this game. So I know you wanted them to drop more points, but I don't know if they're going to drop points anytime soon. I don't think they're playing anyone huge anymore. I may be wrong. I'll check right now, but I don't think they have any tough fixtures left. Oh, they play you guys. Oh, I'm tripping. They play you guys in Liverpool. Those are the last two fixtures, but both they play Liverpool at home and you guys away. So other than
Hmm.
that, and they play Aston Villa too, and they play Newcastle. Okay, I take it back. They have some
Yeah.
good. They have
Those are some fixtures.
those are some fixtures for sure, but I think the point I'm trying to make is the way they're going bodes well. I think even if they drop points in those big games or in even those small games, I just don't see them dropping that many points. I see them beating Liverpool at home, to be honest with you. I see them beating Liverpool at home. This Liverpool team, I see them beating them at home. But we'll see.
I get out of bed for that game. Liverpool typically does, but we'll see.
Yeah, but again, but United always raise their level against teams like this. To be fair to your point, against Liverpool is even when they're in that weird patch where they would lose to Sunderland and beat City, they always struggled with Liverpool, up bar one or two occasions. So it'll be interesting. What date is that? April 2nd. We will a month away. We will be there.
We'll
Uh,
be there.
Another big game that happened this weekend. I don't know if you watched is uh the Klassiker. How do you say it? The German
Oh
class.
yeah, yeah, their Classico.
The Klassiker. I watched that game. Dortmund at home. Same old story of Dortmund starting off hot, taking the lead, and later on losing to Bayern. And then the season will end, and Bayern will pick out whoever scored against them. Like it was just the same old. Um, Schlotterberg scored 1-0. Did they go 2-0 up? At now I forget if they went 2-0 up or not. But Harry Kane scores two. Then Kimmich scores the winner late. It was just again, it was a good game. To be fair, it was a good football game, but you could just see the writings on the wall before the game even started. You could just tell like it'd be initial gra from Dortmund, like oh yeah, we come to play, just make it a little difficult. Then Bayern go from like this to like this, and then
Yeah, lean up.
it's just a wrap. And the difference in quality in both teams is just it's too much. It's too much. But yeah, that happened this weekend as well. And Madrid, like I was saying in the intro, lost at home to Getafe. I'll be honest, they lost like the goal, it was 1-0. The goal was a golazo. Like fantastic
Mhm.
goal. So from Satriano, I believe his name is. Ironically, Getafe got Satriano from Lyon because Real Madrid loaned Endrick to Lyon.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was just crazy that how things work out. But disappointingly, Rodrigo also had the ACL, and I'm like, I don't know how many players, Madrid players in the last couple of years that have to suffer ACLs from Courtois to Eden Militao two times to Alaba to Carvajal. Now Rodrigo, all in the space of 3 years is just something to look at. But
Wow.
prayers up to Rodrigo, man. He's definitely missing the World Cup, which is disappointing for him. But the game was very disappointing as well because the low block was just ridiculous. Like, not ridiculous in a bad way, ridiculous because we couldn't break it. We just couldn't.
Yeah.
Um, I know you know we've spoken about Mbappe's positioning and stuff like that. Um, Even when we had box presence, we just didn't exploit. Vinny didn't have a good game in that game. I don't think, I mean, with Mbappe, anything can happen, obviously, because of the level of play he was. But I don't know if I would think that we would still have lost that game even with Mbappe. We just didn't play well. And
Yeah.
now we're 4 points behind Barcelona. I asked you 3 weeks ago, you're like, I don't know. So what do you think
Should have
now
I
that we're
should
four
have
points?
I should have bet on it. But it's a tough I don't I think what I mentioned at that time, Madrid isn't the type of team that sacks their coach and then goes on to win in the same season, in my opinion. Do they do that
Yes.
often? Often?
Not often.
Often. Look into the mirror.
Yes,
That's not
not
their that's
often.
not their that's not their shtick. It
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
not often.
unroots,
Yeah, not often.
usually typically unroots things. And I
Yeah,
think that's kind of I'd be shocked to see if they're able to shift methodology, philosophy, and vibe in that locker room, especially with another injury of note now. I know Rodrigo wasn't an integral player, but I personally think he provides very important depth.
yeah.
Um, but I just don't know if they can pivot, like I said, from the last, let's see, the last 15 calendar months. There's been three different coaches now. If you want to really keep right, Ancelotti's been there for
Yeah, yeah, you're right actually because
Ancelotti.
Ancelotti
This
ended
time
last
last year it was Ancelotti. Yeah,
yeah,
this time last year it was Ancelotti.
yeah,
Then Xabi Alonso. So flush all of that from your mind. Start Xabi Alonso's system. Okay, remember that. Let's scrub that up. Go back to some sort of probably
Ancelotti.
similar to Ancelotti, but also this is what we need to do right now in the middle of everything with
Yeah,
my idea. So I don't know. I just think Barcelona is a little bit more settled, and they're not implementing and trying to find a space for Mbappe when they,
yeah.
you know,
It's a good point. It's a good point. And if I wasn't a Madrid fan, I'll agree with you and believe and believe and then be on your point, but I can't. I just can't do it.
never say die.
Can't do it. But you're right. You're absolutely right. Like even today, Barcelona obviously crapped the bed in the first leg of the Copa semifinals against Atleti, lost 4-0. But only a team that is as settled and as fluid as Barcelona currently would almost come back from that deficit, which they almost did. They won 3-0, but lost an aggregate. And like you said, everybody's settled in their roles. Everybody knows what they're doing. Yamal is has been on in flow state for like 2 seasons now. Um, and yeah, now that they have one less competition to worry about, and Pedri's back from injury, Rafinha's back from injury, they have depth with Marcus Rashford off the bench. Lewandowski's injured though, but and De Jong is injured as well. So, but I mean, I feel like I don't know if they'll go all the way. Well, speaking of the Champions League, they are on a favorable side of the bracket, them and Arsenal, I believe. But
Hmm.
is it them and Arsenal? I forget now. But I see them. focusing on just wrapping up that league and bagging it up and for a back to back. But hopefully they slip up one more time and then we beat them. And that's my story, and I'm
Yeah,
sticking to it.
it's not that many points. I mean, 4 points is not a huge lead or gap,
Yeah.
only a game and a half, and you just still have to play you guys.
Yes. But again,
Yeah,
it's in camp now. It's in camp now, but still have to play us regardless. So we'll see. But yeah,
yeah,
they are playing Newcastle again in the round of 16 in the Champions League. And I mean, Atleti is the team that just knocked them out in two legs, is also in that bracket. So if they beat Newcastle and Atleti beat Tottenham, they would meet again. So I mean, it won't be easy because like I said, Atleti, Newcastle would give them problems, but I don't think Newcastle would beat them in two legs. And obviously Arsenal is on that side as well. But we didn't speak much about the Champions League draws. What did you think about that shambolic draw?
yeah, yeah. It's definitely tough. I think the pathway to success is crazy for Chelsea, and then on top, and then I think even for Madrid, you have to play City, which has always been a tough match for you guys.
Yep.
Um, I think, yeah, what I said is if Chelsea beats PSG, we have to play Liverpool or Galatasaray.
Mhm.
And then if we get past that, we have to play Man City or Real Madrid or
Or
Bayern
or
Munich
Bayern Munich,
in the
yeah.
semifinals. So,
Yeah, so same for us. We play City, then you'll guess no disrespect to Atalanta, but you guess you will play Bayern next. Then it could be Chelsea, it could be PSG, it could be Liverpool, it could be Galatasaray. The only thing, if we manage to get out of City and Bayern, which obviously we can, we've done it before, but if we manage to get out of that. The only thing I'll hold on to is the other four teams on our side of the bracket, which is Liverpool, Galatasaray, Chelsea, PSG, haven't been in great form the last couple of months.
mhm.
So that's the only thing. Us too, we've been shaky, but that's the only thing I can hang my hat on. But well, we play City
Yeah.
next Wednesday, so we'll
Bodo
see.
Glimt has been informed.
Well, Glen's
I'm
been
counting on
informed.
them.
Count on them to do what? To beat who? Arsenal?
Yeah,
It's possible. They beaten
it
City, they
is.
beaten Inter, they beaten Atletico, so it's possible. But we'll see. We'll
Mhm.
see. But yeah, that's the Champions League draw. Anything else before we go to play of the week?
Oh, no.
No. Um, so play of the week. Ekitike balled out against West Ham with the goal and two assists. We spoke about Bruno, goal and assist against Crystal Palace. Yamal scored a hat-trick for Barca at home over the weekend, and Aubameyang scored two goals to bring Marseille from behind to beat Lyon, inform Lyon, uh, to beat them 3-2. Those were the standout players. I mean, you lean towards the player who scored a hat trick, beautiful hat trick too. Um, but I would make a case for Aubameyang as well because that game was. You need to go watch the highlights of that game. Marseille Lyon.
Mm,
It was a very good game.
mm.
Endrick had two assists. The two goals that Lyon scored, he assisted them. You could tell like he's showing that same thing that you saw in Esteval when you brought him. He's showing that,
Yeah.
talent of
Spark.
Lyon. Yeah, that spark. Thank you for Lyon, but you could tell his decision making is still maturing because two times he tried to cheat the keeper when he should have just scored. But he had a good game. But Oba scored the relatively late equalizer and definitely late winner under the new coach, and their first win under the new coach as well in a big game like that. So I could make a case for Oba because of the stakes, but Yamal, I mean, the performance with the goals and the type of goals is hard to not give that kid player of the week, man. It's just hard. I don't know if you have any
Mm.
objections to that.
None, none. I'll have to check out the Lyon Marseille game.
Yeah.
That sounds like it would be,
Yeah,
the fact that Aubry is still doing bits is wild.
it's wild. I mean, the French league has been like those games, the Lyons, the Marseilles, the Lens. I think it's Lens that just signed Alain Saint-Maximin. I think they're second in the table, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, PSG. Those guys play some good football, and they when they meet each other, it's always fireworks. And yes, but PSG is leading by 4 points. Lens is second, Lyon is third, and Marseille is fourth, and Lille is fifth, tied with Rennes. So like, and Monaco is seventh. So from 1 to 8 is who you expect. Monaco is seventh. Strasbourg, aka Chelsea, French French division, is eighth. So good stuff in France. But anyway, Yamal, congrats, player of the week, goal of the week. Pajal in that game, that Marseille-Lyon game, scored a nice curler from cutting it from the left curler. Keeper tried to save it, but just got fingertips on it, still went in. I think that the goal would have been even more beautiful if the keeper didn't get a hand to it. But Satriano's goal to win the Madrid derby for Getafe, cross from the right wing, um, the ball was trying to be cleared. Like I think Rudiger went up for a header, then Tchouaméni went up for the header, and he was just falling to him in front of the box, and he just he just
Yeah, when I saw that goal, I knew it was gonna be goal of the week. And I was like,
yeah, it's like ooh. You know that what's his name? Uh DJ. What's his name? The former Clippers center that used to dunk all the time. His last name is Jordan. What's his name?
oh, DeAndre Jordan, yeah.
DeAndre Jordan. Yeah, you know
Mhm.
that meme of him dunking and he's just yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. He was like, ooh. That
Yeah, I was like, it's gonna be off. Rocks. It's gonna be awkward.
Yeah, I mean,
But
anyway,
no, that has to be it
that's to be it. And
for
again,
me.
for me too, to be fair, I mean, a small team like Getafe, not the best record against Real Madrid in the Santiago Bernabéu. Your team wins 1-0 after putting a shift in defensively, and the one goal they score is that goal. You can have the player of the week. You can have it.
Yeah.
You can have it. I might stone you with it, but you can have it. But yeah, that's all I have. I know upcoming games you mentioned. You're playing Villa soon. I think United's playing Newcastle soon. Um, we're playing Celta Vigo on Friday, which is weird. We played on Monday and now we're playing on Friday. But I'm not complaining because we play City next Wednesday. So the more time in between is fine. Um, this weekend is FA Cup weekend. No real big game jumps out to me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I think tomorrow's game is of big significance since Villa's in fourth. But I'm just keep taking it a day at a time. That's the only game I can see right now.
You sound like a player, just taking it a game at a time. It's just taking it a game at a time. We can't get too carried away. That's classic player post-game response.
On the Villa, on the Villa.
Onto Villa away. Tammy Abraham, he might have something to show you. Sancho might have something to show you. You know, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah,
Disasi, wait, where did Disasi go?
yeah,
West Ham?
he's there. No, he's there, but he's cut tied, I think. Oh no, he's at West Ham. West Ham.
He's at West
Sorry,
Ham.
same
Okay.
color. I get them mixed up sometimes. But
Yeah.
yes,
But yeah, Sancho may want to show you something. Tammy Abraham might have something to show you off the bench. Who knows? But we'll see. We'll
we
see.
shall see.
We shall see on the next episode. Speaking of next episode, please subscribe to the channel. Please, thank you for your support. We're approaching a year, which is crazy. Uh,
Wow.
maybe we should do some merch or something for ourselves at least, not for them yet,
Yeah.
but for ourselves.
Get some quarter zips or something made.
Some quarter zips. Hey, speaking of quarter zips, my lady said I need to start wearing quarter zips. My fiance said and quarter zips. So quarter zips is it? It is
Step
out
it
here
up.
looking like on a slot. Looking like on a slot. But yeah, she said
Go for beads. But yeah.
that start dressing a specific way. I'm like, maybe sometimes, maybe 20% of the time I'll go with her suggestion. But please subscribe. Thank you for the support. Any last words?
No, 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 no. Just hopefully have some celebratory news next week in regards to the way that we're playing, both of
Yeah.
us, instead of an accountability conversation.
Yeah, accountability conversation. That should be the name of this episode. Accountable. Both of us holding each other accountable for our team's performances.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
disappointing. But anyway, guys, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.